Giants Nation, pull up and share.
Yes.
Seriously, get comfortable. We need to have a bit of a family meeting.
Uh-oh.
No, the stove is on, the kettle is whistling, and we are pouring a massive, piping hot cup of Big Blue tea.
Okay.
But this isn't, the usual, let's panic about the roster meeting.
Right.
No, this is the something is cooking in the kitchen meeting.
I like the sound of that.
We're talking trenches. We're talking the big uglies. We're talking about the sound of offensive line football being cooked up in the lab.
It feels different this time, doesn't it? I mean, usually when we talk about the offensive line in New York, it's with this sense of dread.
Oh, absolutely. Like you're discussing a root canal.
Yeah, exactly. But today feels like we're looking at a Michelin star menu.
That is exactly it. Because the news officially dropped, and John Harbaugh, bless that man and his vision, has made a move that we really, really need to unpack.
Here we go.
He has hired Mike Bloomgren as the New York Giants offensive line coach. And before we even get into the guy's resume, we have to acknowledge the context here. This was a massive hole in the staff.
It was a crater. We have to be honest about where we were. We lost Carmen Brasillo. And look, Brasillo did a good job.
He did.
We aren't going to sit here and rewrite history. The line finally showed real improvement last year. We were flirting with respectability.
You could watch a game without throwing your remote at the TV every 3 plays. We were almost normal.
Which for us is a miracle.
It is.
Exactly. But then he packs his bags and heads down to Tennessee to join Well.
We do not speak his name. He who must not be named. The bad man. He is gone. He is in Tennessee. And he took our offensive line coach with him.
He did, and the anxiety from the fan base was palpable.
I'm not going to lie to you. When that news broke, I felt the panic. I think we all did. It was like, oh, great, we finally fixed the leak in the roof, and now the roofer just drove away with the ladder.
That's a perfect way to put it. But this is why we're loving the John Harbaugh era. This is why we trust the process. He didn't panic. He didn't just grab the first guy available on LinkedIn. He went out and made what I'm calling a blueprint hire. This isn't just about filling a spot on the payroll.
A blueprint hire. I like that. It implies there's actually a plan, which is a nice change of pace.
It implies an identity.
So let's just get into it. We're going to unpack why Mike Bloomgren isn't just a random hire. We're going to explain why this signals a shift toward a philosophy he calls intellectual brutality, which, by the way,
Love that name.
It sounds like a band I would absolutely pay to see in concert. And we're going to talk about why this matters for the future of Big Blue.
Intellectual brutality. It sounds like a philosophy class where the final exam is a fistfight.
Yes.
And honestly, that is exactly what the Giants need. But to understand why this matters, we have to look at the resume. And I don't mean just listing the years. We need to look at who raised him in this league.
Right, because when you first hear the name Mike Bloomgren, unless you're a total sicko who watches Conference USA college football at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Which you've done.
Which, admittedly, I have done. You might not know the history. But this resume, it has layers. It's like a football lasagna.
A football lasagna is a perfect analogy. You have to go back to the base layer, the foundation. He started his NFL journey with the New York Jets back from 2007 to 2010.
The Jets. But wait, we have to clarify for the younger listeners.
Yeah.
We are not talking about the butt fumble Jets.
No.
We are not talking about the clown show.
This was the Rex Ryan ground and pound back-to-back AFC Championship Jets. This was a team that wanted to run the ball down your throat and make you like it.
Okay.
But here is the most critical piece of the puzzle, and if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. He was learning under Bill Callahan.
The legend.
If you know offensive line play, Bill Callahan is basically Yoda. He's the Miyagi of the trenches. There is a Callahan coaching tree, and being from that tree means something very specific.
Okay, let's drill down on that for a second. When we say Callahan tree, what does that actually look like on Sunday? Because we hear these terms all the time.
It looks like technical perfection mixed with violence. Callahan teaches a specific way of striking with the hands, tight hands, inside the defender's chest plate.
Oh, okay.
It's about controlling the defender's center of gravity. You aren't just getting in their way, you are moving them against their will. It's a very demanding style. It requires repetition over and over until it's muscle memory.
So when we say Bloomgren is a Callahan disciple, we are saying he is a technician who demands violence.
That's exactly what we're saying.
That Callahan connection is gold. Those Jets teams were maulers, they ran the ball, and they didn't care if you knew it was coming. So Bloomgren is coming from that school of hard knocks. But then he makes a move that I think is really interesting. He heads to college.
Right.
He goes to Stanford. And this, to me, is where the resume starts glowing in neon lights.
The Stanford era from 2011 to 2017. This is the golden resume section. You have to remember what Stanford was back then.
Oh, yeah.
In a world where everyone was trying to go fast and spread the field, Stanford was lining up with 7 offensive linemen and just crushing people.
Just bullying people.
And Bloomgren was the offensive line coach and the run game coordinator during the Andrew Luck years.
Which was an incredible offense.
Bah.
But the part that gets me excited, the part that makes me want to run through a brick wall, is what he did with Christian McCaffrey.
This is the key. He was the architect of the line that paved the way for Christian McCaffrey's historic production. And this is where we need to talk about scheme. Because people hear run game and they think it's all the same. It's not.
Please break this down, because I hear gap scheme and zone scheme thrown around on Twitter, and half the time I think people are just guessing.
Okay, so a lot of the NFL runs zone. That's where all 5 linemen step in unison like a chorus line and the running back finds a hole. It's fluid.
Right.
Bloomgren, he loves gap or power schemes. This is where you pull players. Imagine the center snapping the ball, and the right guard doesn't just block forward. He turns, runs behind the center, and acts as a lead blocker on the left side.
So he's basically using a 320-pound man as battering ram.
Exactly. It's a pin and pull strategy. You pin the defender inside, you pull a lineman around the edge, and you create a mismatch in space.
Wow.
It is incredibly difficult to execute because the timing has to be perfect. But when it works, it is devastating. That's how McCaffrey got into open space so often.
And that is what gets me excited. Because if he could design a run game for McCaffrey, imagine what he is going to do for our backfield.
Oh, yeah.
We are talking about Tyrone Tracy, who has that explosive ability. And we are talking about, say it with me, Cam Scatterbo.
Oh, absolutely. Cam Scatterbo. You have to say it with the chest.
Cam Scatterbo. This style of coaching is perfect for a guy like that. Downhill, physical, violent. Bloomgren built a reputation at Stanford for smart plus violent trench play.
And think about Tyrone Tracy in this system. Tracy is great in space. If Bloomgren can get a guard pulling out in front of him to kick out a cornerback, Tracy's gone.
Gone.
It turns 3-yard runs into 50-yard touchdowns. That is the intellectual brutality we are talking about. It's geometry, but with collisions.
Geometry with collisions. I love it. Now, we can't gloss over the fact that he was also a head coach.
Okay.
He spent the last several years running the program at Rice. Does that head coaching experience matter?
It matters immensely. It distinguishes him from a guy who just moves magnets around on a whiteboard.
Sure.
He has been the CEO.
Right.
He knows how to structure a week of practice. He understands how the offensive line fits into the entire team dynamic. It proves leadership. When he walks into that offensive line room, he isn't just a position coach. He is a command of the room that comes from being the guy in charge.
He's been the CEO.
Yeah.
Now he's coming in to be the CFO, the chief football officer of the trenches. I like that.
Yeah.
But, okay, I have to play the skeptic here.
Okay.
I have to bring the rain cloud to our sunny day. We have to address the elephant in the room.
I assume we are talking about Cleveland, the Browns' 2025 concern.
We have to. Because I have seen the Twitter timelines. I have seen the message boards. The fans are screaming. But the Browns' offensive line was terrible in 2025.
They were.
They got their quarterback killed. PFF graded them as a disaster. And look, as a Giants fan, I have PTSD from watching quarterbacks get flattened. So explain to me why I shouldn't be worried.
It's a fair question, and we shouldn't shy away from it. If you just look at the stats from the Browns in 2025, yes, it was ugly. But context is everything in the NFL.
Okay, let's do the defense.
The defense's injuries. The Browns were decimated. They were playing musical chairs at tackle. They had starters missing, backups rotating in and out. Continuity, which is the single most important thing for an offensive line, was non-existent.
Okay, so the car was broken. It wasn't the driver's fault.
To an extent. But here's the caveat, and this is where the intellectual part of his philosophy cuts both ways. Bloomgren's system, that pin and pull, complex gap scheme stuff, it's high maintenance.
Okay.
It requires smart, experienced players to execute. It's like a Ferrari engine. It runs beautifully when you put premium gas in it. But if you put cheap gas in it, meaning inexperienced backups who don't know the calls, it stalls out.
That is a really important distinction. So the criticism isn't that he's a bad coach, but maybe that his system is too complex for backups.
Exactly. In Cleveland, when the starters went down, the backups couldn't handle the mental load of the scheme. They missed assignments. They busted protections. So the risk is that he needs smart players.
Right.
But if the starters are healthy, the ceiling is incredibly high.
That makes me feel better, actually. It's not that he forgot how to coach. It's that he runs a sophisticated offense, and frankly, I am tired of basic.
Right. And judging him on that one battered season in Cleveland is lazy film watching. You have to look at the decade of dominance at Stanford.
Okay, objection overruled. The defense rests. We're wiping the Browns' 2025 tape off the hard drive. We're focusing on the philosophy. Intellectual brutality.
Yeah.
I want that on a t-shirt.
Hey.
But let's break it down technically. What does the intellectual part actually mean for the guys in the huddle?
It's about processing speed. The modern NFL defense is crazy. They disguise blitzes, they run stunts where the defensive end loops inside and the tackle loops outside. If your offensive line isn't smart, they get confused.
You've seen a lot of that.
Two guys block one defender and a free rusher hits the quarterback.
Which, let's be honest, has been the bane of our existence for a decade. The oops, I thought you had him blocks.
Exactly. Intellectual means high-level mental preparation, identifying the front, calling out the Mike linebacker, changing the protection at the line of scrimmage because you see the safety creeping down.
And the brutality.
That's the finish. That's the Callahan influence. It's not enough to just be in the right spot. You have to want to bury the guy. You have to play through the whistle. It's about straining.
I love it.
A lot of linemen stop pushing once the ball is thrown. Bloomgren wants guys who are looking for work, looking to put someone in the dirt. So intellectual brutality translates to smart bullies in the trenches.
Smart bullies. I love it. It's like if a chess grandmaster also knew Muay Thai. That is what we want.
Yeah.
And this signals such a massive identity shift for the Giants, doesn't it? I mean, look at who Harbaugh is assembling. We've got Greg Roman, who we love, by the way. The run game is going to be elite.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Matt Nagy, who, I got to say, we are growing to love. And now Bloomgren. What does this combination tell you?
It screams a clear vision. There is no ambiguity here. Harbaugh is building a run-heavy foundation, but not just run the ball to kill clock. This is punch-you-in-the-mouth football.
Exactly.
Greg Roman is the mad scientist of the run game. He designs these complex, multi-layered run concepts. But you need a drill sergeant to teach the players how to execute them. That is Bloomgren.
It feels like a throwback Giants vibe. This is what we have been craving. We don't want the dink and dunk. We don't want the cute stuff. We want to run the ball, control the clock, and make the other team quit.
And think about the synergy between Roman and Bloomgren. Roman draws up a play that requires the center to block back and the guard to pull. Bloomgren is the one teaching the guard the footwork to make that pull fast enough.
A hand-in-glove fit.
It is. They both believe in an offense that protects the quarterback by being aggressive.
Protect the quarterback.
Yeah.
That is the phrase that pays. Because we have a young quarterback situation to figure out, and nothing helps a young QB more than a run game that averages 5 yards a carry and a pocket that doesn't collapse instantly.
Precisely. If you can run the ball when everyone in the stadium knows you are going to run it, that is when you break a defense's will.
Yep.
That takes the pressure off the passing game. It opens up play action. And remember, play action is where the explosive plays happen.
That's the key.
You suck the linebackers up to stop the run, and then you throw it over their heads. Bloomgren's intellectual brutality is the engine that makes that possible.
So what does this mean for the players, for the roster? What does it tell us about free agency and the draft?
It means the standard is changing. If you're an offensive lineman on this roster, you better be ready to lower your pad level and finish every single play. If you are a catcher, you know, those linemen who just catch the defender and try to dance with him, you aren't going to play. Bloomgren wants attackers.
No dancing bears. We want maulers.
We want maulers. And for the draft and free agency, expect a prioritization of that specific mold. They're going to look for guys who fit that intellectual brutality profile. High football IQ is non-negotiable now.
Right.
But physically, they might look for bigger, stronger, nastier road graders. It's a commitment to building a trench identity, not just collecting talent.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to my neighbor, big Giants fan, you know the type, and he was a little meh about the hire.
Oh, really?
Wanted a headline name. But the more we talk about this, the more I feel like this is a culture hire versus a flash hire.
That is the perfect distinction. Casual fans love the splashy names. They love the guys they see on TV. But this is a football guy's hire. When you look at the experience, the philosophy, the coaching tree, the upside here is serious.
It's about winning the fourth quarter in November when it's raining sideways at MetLife.
Oh, inject that thought straight into my veins. That is Giants football.
That is what we have been missing. And look, we have been burned before. We have had gurus come in here and the offensive line looked like a subway turnstile. But this feels different because of the alignment.
Alignment is the key word. Harbaugh, Roman, Bloomgren. There is no conflict in philosophy here. Everyone wants to do the same thing. Run the ball, play violent football, and make life easier for the offense.
And frankly, this could be huge for our guys.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the screen game, too. I'm thinking about those pullers getting out in space for Cam Scatterbo.
Seeing a guard pull and kick out a linebacker so Cam can run through a safety's face, that is the dream.
I am already excited for the coaches' tape. I am ready to break down pancake blocks. I want to see defenders on their backs looking at the sky wondering what truck just hit them.
And that brings us back to the phrase intellectual brutality. It's catchy, sure, but it's also a standard. It means you can't just be a brute and you can't just be a nerd. You have to be both.
It really is. Okay, let's wrap this up with the big takeaway. The Giants have a new trench chef. Mike Bloomgren is in the kitchen. The menu is violence and intelligence.
And the vibe is cautiously optimistic, but leaning heavily towards excitement. This is a grown-up hire. This is a hire that says, we know who we are, and we are going to be good at it.
So, listener, we have to turn it over to you. We need to know where your head is at. Are you buying this hire? Are you ready to order the intellectual brutality special?
Or are you sitting back, arms crossed, saying, I have been hurt before? It's a fair question.
I think I know where I stand. I am ready to see some bodies hit the floor. But we know the rule here. We get excited, we drink the big do tea, but we also have eyes.
That's right. In Harbaugh, we trust, but verify on Sundays.
Verify on Sundays. That is the tattoo I am getting right next to the Giants logo. The resume is elite, the philosophy is sound, but we need to see the pancakes on the field.
We need to see the pocket hold up against the Eagles and the Cowboys. If Bloomgren can deliver that, he won't just be a coach. He will be a hero in this town.
A hero with a headset. All right, Giants Nation, that's the story on Mike Bloomgren. Get excited for the run game. Get excited for Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatterbo running behind a line that actually wants to hurt people.
Keep your pads low.
And your spirits high. We'll catch you next time.
Just wanted to say a massive thank you for tuning in to Big Blue Tea.
Absolutely. And, a huge shout out always to Black Freezy TV.
Oh,
For
definitely.
the fantastic programming, the production, everything that makes this possible.
Yep. Their work behind the scenes is just really appreciated.
It really is.
This has been Big Blue Tea.